Hi, today I'm going to make a video about how to pick a direct selling company that kind of best fits your personality. My name is Carlajane Donovan. I am an independent director with 31 gifts. I am by no means a direct sales expert, but I'm in a lot of support groups with other direct sales companies, and I see I'm beginning to see, because it's the beginning of the year, a lot of people who have started a direct sales company, but maybe it didn't work out, so they moved on to the next company, and then maybe that company didn't work out, and so now that they're looking for something new, they really want to know what's the secret to picking a company that's going to be successful. Um, and so, like I said, I am by no means an expert, but I have a lot of friends who are in direct sales. They sell other things other than 31, and they will tell you that I'll stand next to them at a vendor event and just keep asking questions about their company. So this is just from my personal experience of information I've collected along the way. I have 5 things, kind of like my top 5 things that I hear people say I wish I knew, or this is the information that I wish I gathered before I decided on a company. And then I have a bonus, but I'm going to give you my bonus one right up front. That way you don't have to, just in case you're like, you know what, CJ, that is the best point you've ever made. I'm not going to watch the rest of this video to find out what the 5 are. Um, and it was from 31. One person in our company said that there's really 3 main reasons that anybody starts selling a product through direct sales or any kind of other business venture. And those 3 reasons are either because they love the product, it's something that they stand behind, that they believe in, or they need the money. So direct sales is a great second job or even only job when you need extra income, or they do it for the time. Maybe you are a stay-at-home dad, stay-at-home mom, and you just need to get out of the house, or maybe you do have a very high-stress job that you work many hours a week, but you kind of like having a party plan model where you could go hang out with your friends, but then also make money. So 3 reasons that people start businesses: they either love and stand behind the products, they need the money, or they do it for that extra quality time for themselves. Once you get those 3 things in order, once you prioritize those reasons for selling, you are going to have more success in your business because you'll be able to make your business goals based on those priorities. Where if my priority as a stay-at-home mom is to just get out of the house, I'm going to want to plan a party outside the house every single week. That's going to be my goal, right? To get out of the house versus somebody who is doing it for the money because they need the additional income. They would like to make their car payment. They know what their car payment is. They know what % commission they get. So now they can prioritize a sales goal so that they can make their car payment. Having those goals is really important. So you really need to ask yourself why you're selling your product, or why you maybe want to start a direct sales company, your own business, and then kind of go from there. Okay, so, and again, not an expert, but the top 5 things that I'm hearing people say to me, I wish I knew. So number one is a sign-up fee or any kind of kit cost. So you will hear companies say this is our starter kit, enrollment fee, and those types of things. Normally, a kit comes with a lot of products, marketing materials, trainings. You want to know very specifically what's in that kit. Sometimes your enrollment kit only comes with products, and those other marketing materials or training pieces are an additional fee. So you're going to want to talk to somebody about that. And I'm going to keep saying talk to someone. My recommendations are that if you're thinking about direct sales, chances are you probably know somebody who already sells this particular product. If they're going to be your potential sponsor, you're going to want to ask them. If you don't know anyone, you should be able to go directly to this company's website and get answers. And if you can't, call them directly and try to get somebody on the phone to ask these questions. If you can't get answers to these very simple questions, you might want to consider a different company. Okay, so go to whoever would be your sponsor or directly to the company to get these answers. Okay, so do your marketing materials cost additional, or does that kit have marketing materials in it? And by marketing, I mean catalogs or order forms or different kind of flyers that you would need to market your business. A website. Are you given a website? Do you need to create your own website? Is there a website fee? So those things you need to be asked. And then also, there are companies that do different incentives. So what incentives do you have going on for joining right now? And if you're going to talk to a sponsor, maybe they know that if you wait just 1 week, it might be a better time to join incentive-wise, because some companies offer rebates, some companies do a percentage off. Some companies have more than one enrollment kit, and not all sponsors or not all companies might tell you that there's more than one kit. So they might have a $50 kit, and then the $100 kit, and the $200 kit. They could even have a $500 kit I've seen. But the reason why some companies might not tell you, like they might market their $250 kit, is because the sponsor or your enroller might actually get a percentage, a cut, when you join. So if you join with a higher, more expensive kit, they would get a higher percentage than if you started with a lower percentage kit. So you're going to have to ask them, what if anything do they make when you enroll? So that is my first thing. You need to know what everything entails. Oh, this is another very important, and then I'll move on. This is very important. Enrollment kits, sometimes you join and they say, oh, it's only $99. And that seems like kind of like the going market for enrollment kits, is that they're usually around $99, in the $115 range for a starter kit. Okay, so you want to know what's in it, the amount of products that's in it. So they could say it's $99 for $200 of products, or it could be $99 for $400 worth of products. And you have to ask yourself if that's reasonable. But the reason I bring that up is because sometimes kits have no strings attached. You buy your $99 kit, and if you never sell a dime, no harm, no foul. Some kits have other strings attached. So it could sound too good to be true. You get $600 of products for just $50, but the strings attached are that if you don't start selling straight away, then the company will start to maybe charge you installment payments until you pay them back the rest of the kit. So that's kind of more high stakes than just, if I buy the kit and I never sell, it's just a preference. I just wanted to throw that out there. Okay, so number 2 is time. How many hours a week do you need to dedicate to this business, and do you want to dedicate that much time? So some companies are kind of geared towards more selling online. Some companies are geared towards more home-based parties. So it just is what type of company fits, your lifestyle, and do you have the time to put into it? So definitely ask your sponsor how much time they put into it, but additionally, that time kind of needs to be broken down. I spend this much time training my team. I spend this much time at parties. I spend this much time inputting orders, and see if you can kind of dedicate that kind of time to it. My third thing is, what's your quota? I hear that a lot, and I don't have a quota, but some companies do. Some companies have a quota or a standard that you need to remain active. So for those companies that don't have a quota, they normally have some sort of an active, you need to sell a certain amount to be an active consultant. And so a quota, do you have to sell a certain amount per month? And I would really talk to your sponsor, because sometimes people feel like there's a quota built in, and there's really not. There might be a team standard where your direct upline is saying you need to sell $100 a month, let's say, but on a company basis, that may or may not be true. So definitely look into that. Is it a team quota or is it a company quota? And is there one? Versus some companies, they just say you need to sell so much to be active. And then you want to know what that entails. So some companies, it could be very high stakes. It could be $200 a month. Some companies could be lower. It could be $200 a quarter to stay active. And then what happens if you go inactive? So some companies, you go inactive, you have to completely re-enroll. And then some companies, you click a button and ta-da, you're active again. And so I think that with, the way direct selling companies work, they need to know if you're active or not active so they can correctly report their numbers of active consultants. And it might not be as high stakes as everybody thinks. So it might just be a matter of telling your sponsor, I'm active again, and that's it. Magic, you're active. So definitely ask what it entails if you're not active or you don't meet that quota. Number 4 is, how are you getting paid? So direct sales companies pay on commissions. They're all done differently. Your percentage of the personal volume that you sell is different with all companies. I have seen 10%, I have seen 60%. So it definitely matters. And then how are you getting paid that percentage? Is it a direct deposit? Do you get paid twice a month? Do you get paid once a month? Do you get paid once a week? Some companies have a prepaid card, and it's cute. It looks like a credit card with their name on it, but then they just load your commission right to the card, and then you swipe it like a debit card. So, but that model might not fit everyone. They might want it to go into their bank account so that they can write checks or something like that. Some companies are paid directly. They pay you directly after the party. So, you go to a party, you close it up, and in an hour you have your funds. So some companies do that. So you definitely want to know when you are getting paid. But additionally, with that commission comes a commission scale. If you are building a team with direct sales, you're a sponsor and then you have team members and then they have team members. I have seen some pretty interesting looking commission scales where you're getting a higher percentage or a commission sales bonus based on your level. Are you a director? Are you a leader? Whatever the company calls you. And I have seen ones that I can't read, which makes me question how you get paid. You have to understand how you're going to get paid. So if you can't play, are you smarter than a 5th grader? Like if your 5th grader can't read this commission summary, this commission scale of how it is that you get paid when you have team members and when you don't have team, if it's not understandable, if somebody can't very easily explain it to you, I would second guess that company. So that's something to think about. And then my last one, my number 5, is the inventory. Some companies are inventory based, and so you are kind of like a store. You purchase your inventory at wholesale, just like a store would. You bring the inventory into wherever you stay. If I panned over this way, you would see some of my inventory, although I don't need to keep an inventory for my company. So you buy your inventory at wholesale and then you sell it to your customers for retail price, and you're keeping the difference. So if you buy something from the company for 20 and you sell it for 40, now you get to keep 20. And that's how you make money on an inventory business. I know if you're watching this and you have an inventory business, you're going to scream and you'll be like, it's not that easy. And I know that. I appreciate that. But inventory businesses, there is a couple of things to consider when you have an inventory business. A, do you have room to store it? It takes time to move it. So the time commitment might be a little bit more on an inventory business because you're taking time to log the inventory, to sell the inventory, to ship the inventory. A very valid concern is, what if I have something that doesn't sell? So you're going to want to ask. Some companies will buy it back from you. Some consultants within the company will trade inventory with you, but you want to consider that you could have pieces of inventory that you can't move, that maybe have been in your inventory for months and is hard to sell. So also with an inventory business, you need to replace it. So if you buy wholesale, right, from your company, you have your inventory, you sell it all at retail, you're going to have to take a portion of that money and buy more inventory for wholesale and then the sales recycle. And so that is a little bit tricky if you have an emergency, right? If you sell off all of your inventory, so now you need to buy inventory, but you take those funds to pay an emergency bill, you're kind of left at ground zero with having to reinvest into your company to get your inventory back. So I'm making inventory sound like it's bad. It's not. The good thing about inventory, right, is it's a very fun, very high-paced environment. And people who sell inventory businesses tend to make a higher percentage of a commission. Okay, so, and I know that there's like 90 other perks that I would miss, but I don't have an inventory business, so I can't speak on those. Okay, the other another thing about inventory businesses is some of them are on auto ship, so definitely ask about that. Auto ship is a little bit scary to me as well because, you know, they're sending you your wholesale priced items, right? And they're maybe doing an electronic funds transferred like right out of your bank account, and then they send you the auto shipment and then you sell. And some people love auto shipment. They can't get their auto shipment fast enough because they sell so quickly that they just wish that they got 2 shipments a month. Where I would personally be afraid that, you know, if my kids got sick for a month or if I went on vacation, now I have this auto ship that I wasn't ready for. So it's not good or bad. It just needs to fit your personality. Okay, so against an inventory is a more of a catalog or a website-based company. You can have a party the same way you have a party with an inventory sale. You probably have samples of your products, and then what you would do is order the products directly from the company, and then they would ship them directly to the customer. So that is just a different model. That's actually the 31 model, and it works out because if you don't have room for inventory or you don't have time to log and ship the inventory, essentially somebody can order directly from your website and your bigger company is going to ship directly to the customer. So it kind of cuts you out of the middle. So you might actually spend less time working on inventory. And then, you know, your commissions are paid out versus, you know, because the company is charging retail or through your website, they're going to buy something at retail. You're going to get your commission, and then the company ships it right to the person. Now you're getting a commission check instead of being paid after every show. You're going to get paid maybe once or twice a month, those commissions. Not better, just different. If you don't want to hold the commission, or I'm sorry, if you don't want to hold the inventory, you don't have the space for it. So that's just, you know, a little bit of a difference between having an inventory or having to hold an inventory and then just being an inventory-free business. So those are kind of like the top 5 things that I think that people always worry or ask about. Get those things answered. And so you really just want to know, especially because a lot of people, and it's better now than it was maybe 4 or 5 years ago. The general public now accepts direct sales as just people who are selling their products so they can pay for ballet lessons. You know, it's more legitimized now than kind of when I started. You heard a lot of like, well, that's not a real job, or you would start to tell somebody about the business and they're like waiting for the other shoe to drop. And I have to admit, I was kind of that skeptic, but I waited 2 months, 6 months, a year. The other shoe never dropped. And so that's kind of what you want to avoid when you're picking your own direct sales company. You just want to know everything up front. You want to know what it is that you're getting yourself into. You want to know that you're going to be supported by the company or your upline sponsor. You are going to want to know what kind of time commitment it takes. You're going to want to know if there's a quota. You're going to want to know how and when and what percentage you get paid and whether or not you're expected to keep an inventory. But ultimately, like I said in the beginning, you need to love the product. You need to stand behind your company and know that you have a good quality product that you believe in, so that when you speak about it, it comes from the heart. And that, I think, is really helpful as well. It's hard to pick a company like that, because sometimes, and like I said, those 3 priorities, love the product and the time and the money. When you are thinking of starting a company for the money, it's very easy to get wrapped up into those high-paced join now for free and sell to all of your friends, because you're trying to make money. You're trying to run it like a business. But if you don't love the product and you can't 110% stand behind it, it's going to be hard. It's going to be hard to run your business. So I'll try and think of some more things, some, you know, more potential things that I think would help you pick a good business for you. I think that it's always a good time to start a direct selling business, because it's just I can't say enough good things about it. So message me if you have any questions. If you can think of anything that you want me to speak about, send me a message and I will talk to you guys soon. Thanks for listening.